This is the raw, real, uncut story of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, which hit North Carolina earlier this year. This is coming directly from the people who had to survive the storm, or those that are there volunteering and helping clean up the aftermath. These interviews are from a little town called Pensacola, where there was a camp of volunteers set up. These interviews are from 1 to 2 months after the storm had happened. This is the boots on the ground perspective of those that are there living it. We all have a different perspective, and we all saw different things. If you want my perspective, you can go back to video number 186 on this YouTube channel. As far as these interviews go, I wanted to tell the whole in-depth story. These interviews are one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. I've really struggled hard with posting these videos, but the world needs to know what's really happening out there and what these poor people have had to go through. This isn't about politics or views or anything like that. This is simply about telling the story firsthand and in depth. All I'm trying to do is figure out the best way to help these people by any means possible. I ask everyone to please stay positive and to not post negative comments about these brave people who are telling their stories. Seeing all the destruction was one of the hardest things I've ever had to witness. But at the same time, watching everyone come from all over the country with different backgrounds and different beliefs and all working together to help their fellow human was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I'm starting to realize these same problems are being encountered in every natural disaster. Please, let's work together to try and find solutions that will help these people. Thanks, everyone. So this next interview is with a kind woman named Rebecca, and she was wonderful, and she was awesome enough to give me an interview and just kind of tell me what she had seen while she was there. I never had the chance to work with her on any projects. Our paths kind of crossed a couple times through camp. I know she'd been there a little over a week when we had this interview. I saw she was always busy helping out and doing stuff. We just never had a chance to really work on anything together, unfortunately. She also was willing to do a philosophy interview, which I greatly appreciate. I really love talking philosophy with people, and I love hearing people's stories. And I can't tell her how much I appreciate all she was doing to help everybody out there in North Carolina, and for taking the time to sit down and talk to me with an interview. And if you want to hear our philosophy interview, just go ahead and look for the next video in this series. All right, so we're out here. What was your name again, dear?
My name is Rebecca.
Rebecca. All right, Rebecca. And where are you from?
Santa Barbara, California.
Santa Barbara. Awesome. I think you've been here about a week now?
Yep.
What do you think of everything you've seen out here so far?
I think it's both better and worse than what I thought.
Right.
I worked for Red Cross during Katrina, so I had a pretty good idea of how bad it could be.
Right.
And but here I say it's worse because, the damage is real bad.
Right.
It's real bad, and a lot of it's like tornado damage where it hit one house, left the other house, and then hit the house next to it.
Right.
And, I've seen people in some really hard situations, but it's so much better because everybody's got a joyful attitude.
Yeah.
Everybody's like really helpful for one another, and that kind of surprised me. Like, I don't think I've met one person with a crappy attitude. Not one.
Right.
All the welfare checks that I've done, not one person.
Wow.
So, and that's amazing to me. And everybody's super grateful and thankful and appreciative. And even there were people coming in the first couple days I was here saying they lost everything. Where can we donate the rest of our stuff that wasn't ruined?
Really?
I know.
Wow.
And so my heart is moved.
Right.
Like, greatly. And
Right.
I mean, I've cried a couple times, just broken down.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so much joy. Like, the Holy Spirit is definitely at work here.
Right.
Definitely. And so that is the better part of it.
Right.
Like, but that's been really amazing.
So you've been doing wellness checks and just going out and checking on people and making sure they're taken care
that was
of.
the first couple of days, and I was delivering meals and just making sure, like, what do you need, what do you, and then coming back and reporting
Right.
to the people here so they can, get it back out to them.
Right.
Like
And
that.
we're all our puzzle pieces. Everybody has a different thing, and we just come
Right.
together. And with me, I never know what I want to be doing from one day to the
Right.
next. I just go and try and put my hands on
Yeah,
wherever.
me too.
You know.
Too. I see trash or I see this or whatever needs to be done, and I pick that up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. What do you think we could do the most out here? What do you think?
I think being present is a big deal. I mean, it's like, people obviously are going to need their homes. They're obviously going to need this and that and the other thing. Like, everybody needs food. Everybody needs water.
Right.
We all need security and warmth, especially through the winter. But presence
Right.
is like the biggest thing. Being there for people and like looking them in the eyes and, well, what can I do for you today? Is there anything I can do for you right now?
Right.
And like that presence, because we're not always able to solve
Right.
every challenge. We can't, we literally can't do that.
Right.
But being there makes all the difference. And that's what I found. Like, another thing that's really uplifting is the presence here. There's so many people.
Right.
So, and people are genuinely helping. Like,
Right.
just digging in, you know, jumping in both feet first, you know.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened to me. I just got here and I was like, put me to work. And they did. And so, like, that presence, you know, being there is, like, the number one thing. And then, you know, just, I mean, I see, like, the problem solving around here is real, you know, it's
Right.
quick. And it may not be pretty, but it works.
Efficient.
And so, yeah, efficiency and presence, yeah.
And I know you're sacrificing a lot, and you're coming out here and just staying in the tent to try and help out. And I appreciate all your
I
tenacity
appreciate
and
you too.
everything you're doing. It's just
We're mountain people. It's hard to get us off of any issue we put our minds to. So, yeah.
heck yeah. Anything else you think or seeing out here? Have you seen a lot of government, or do you what do you think? Is it volunteers, or what do you?
It's all volunteers, as far as I can tell. We had in the kitchen, when I was working in the kitchen, there's some support with meals from a place called World Central Kitchen.
Okay.
And they've been supporting us with, you know, like lunchtime, so we get a break in the kitchen.
Okay.
But other than that, I haven't seen. It's been just people.
Yeah.
It's people helping people, Americans helping Americans. There was an Israeli gentleman here.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people are coming from all, but it's
I
civilians.
helped him. He helped me on a bridge, or helped us on a bridge.
people,
Yeah.
But it's been civilians helping civilians. Like, I haven't seen any governmental agencies when I run through the towns. No, it's just people. There was, like, the Cajun Navy, I think, was back
Yeah.
here, like, had tents set up and everything else. But it's been just people.
Yeah.
People helping people. Like, I haven't seen any organized groups. And other than that World Central Kitchen,
Right.
you know, I haven't seen any supportive services.
Right. I know Samaritan's Purse is out here, and they're kind of
that's another one,
organized,
yeah.
but they're not a government agency.
Right,
They're a
yeah.
private entity.
Yeah,
you
NGO,
know.
yeah, that's cool.
But they're about the only big thing out here. Everything else is just people that said, "Hey, I'm going to go out and help," and just
Right.
random people, man.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. The Lord called me, and here I am.
Yeah.